very next performer is the ever distinguished Jake Boggs. Please give him up.
No more long deployments or 3 in the morning phone calls or having to worry about work. My retirement date had finally arrived. You know, the pressure was going to be off. I could relax. I could even sit all day in my underwear and Cheetos if I wanted. After 29 years of following orders, I could finally get to do what I wanted. And as I started enjoying my retirement, that's not how it turned out. I was getting overwhelmed. I couldn't function. And couldn't even make friends. I mean, it wasn't one of these, I can't believe that happened, to laugh about it moments when, like, my worst date ever was with this girl and had to go to the bathroom, had to go number 2, and the toilet overflowed, making the first date even more complicated and awkward. It wasn't that feeling at all. It was basically hitting a wall. This was like, wow, what happened? What's going on? I mean, the weirdest part was I really couldn't feel my feelings. I didn't understand that. So as I foolishly tried to unpack my life and retrace my childhood and my military experiences, I remember why I joined the military is because I needed to get away from my parents. I had enough emotional, a little bit of physical abuse. But I do know that good people have to embrace the monster when they go to combat, and when they return, that monster acts like a thief in the night, stealing understanding, temperament, and judgment. My grandpa's World War II experiences kind of had a heavy hand with my mother. My dad was blackout drinking. That's how he dealt with Vietnam. So the cards weren't necessarily in my favor to have the emotional nutrition I needed as a child. I was a good worker, but I know I needed to escape Ohio, and the Navy was my ticket. They sent me overseas to the Philippine Islands. So the Navy sent me to a land full of brothels and ladies of the night. And as a pissed off 19-year-old, I pretty much failed at moral choices. But unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that my foolish choices would be an actual life lesson later on. Because I didn't necessarily understand how poor they were over there. So I didn't realize this until me and my buddies were out drinking a few beers, and this guy comes up. He's got gungy jeans, very dirty, black boots for teeth. I mean, he's got the full picture going, just more destitute. So I check him a quarter, and he grabs it and he goes, he was so happy and thrilled. I said, why are you happy? And it's like, well, I can eat today. It's been a few days. And I was like, that's how bad it is moment. And so as the breadwinners, so that their families could eat, that's when I realized that the ladies of the night were sacrificing their bodies and their dignity for others. And that was my first indication of unconditional love for family. So as I'm sitting here in my retirement, wheels are spinning, trying to unpack things, I remember the moment when I really got hooked on the action. This is way back in the Persian Gulf after we were last day on station during the Desert Storm on the USS Nimitz. I'm up on the flight deck in the safe zone. You got all this hot jet exhaust that's just burning your eyes, drying out your mouth. You got that steam from hot catapults that's blowing across you. It feels like you're a shower of salt because you're sweating so much. So as I'm up there in my happy place enjoying that situation, the plane hits the back of the ship. Landing gear snaps off. This airplane's flying everywhere. So as I'm hauling ass from the carnage, the afterburner lane's like 10 feet in front of me. So I went from fat, dumb, and happy to holy shit in like less than a minute. So, that huge adrenaline rush. And that was my junkie moment. I was like, I got my purpose right now. And that's what I got, definitely was hooking me on the Navy. And then later, in that same tour, I impressed my leadership with my work ethic. And he goes, hey, you ever consider going for a commission? It's like, never had that as a child. So those two things had me beer bonging the Navy Kool-Aid from that point on. I was chugging that stuff hard. And then, I was so ate up with the Navy that I replaced a family of my own for a military career. I was always the go-to guy for to go flying at the last moment, so all the married guys could deal with their families. But my hard work paid off. I was able to get a degree, earn a commission, and I got to be, finally got to be a cocky naval flight officer. Don't worry about it, I'll tell you later how good we are. But part of my responsibilities as a flight officer, supporting nuclear war, and if authorized, we'd have to deliver death to 6 digits, even if that generated a response in kind to the very citizens I had to protect. So it was kind of a mindfuck. But I took that responsibility serious because I came to the Navy with no skill sets, and they made me the man for a critical part of the nuclear deterrence. I was going to pay that back in full. I was so ate up with the Navy that even in the worst year of my life, when I got diagnosed with cancer, the first thing I thought was, oh, fuck, I'm that guy now. I'm not contributing to the team. I'm not going to be part of it. Not the fact that I had cancer. But, it eventually set in over time. But life wasn't done punching me that year. My grandfather's heavy drinking finally got to him. My brother's plan to deal with his paranoid schizophrenia finally caught up to him. And then my dad's lost the battle to Agent Orange lung cancer. All within 4 months of each other, all the same year that I had cancer. So, once again, Navy was there to support, give me time off, grief counseling, and I told myself, hey, I'd made the right choice. But then, when I retired, I was pretty much caught flat-footed. It was like, what the fuck just happened to me, man? I felt anger, pissed off, disappointed, hated everyone, couldn't relate to anyone. I'm sitting there going through my receipts. It's like, did I order a chicken bowl of fuck on Amazon? What the hell? How do I feel like this? Why is this going on? And I knew something had to change. And as it getting lower and lower in my desperation, I tried this cognitive behavior therapy sessions. One of the first exercises was to log your daily activities, and when I sit there and looked at the blank sheet, I was like, okay, I started feeling shame. It's like, this isn't who I am. So I continued the therapy for the next couple of years, slowly making changes in my behavior. Accepting the things I can't change or take back, like the regret I had of never telling my brother I loved him before he passed away. He died too young for that. Starting to understand I do have self-worth. And, just taking a breath when you get freaked out from time to time. You need that. I know the story is kind of hard to tell because you got all these gyros spinning in your head, and how do you connect all these pieces and land this plane to tell the story? Who knew that I needed to take time for myself? But I can honestly say telling my story here in front of a bunch of strangers is lifting a blinding fog to a lighter haze for my next journey. So retirement's getting better.